This is Amateur Logic, episode 123 for November 15th, 2018. This episode of Amateur Logic is brought to you by MFJ, the world leaders in ham radio accessories at mfjenterprises.com. And by ICOM. The holidays are just around the corner, and ICOM has plenty of cheer for everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Amateur Logic. This is number 123. I'm George.
I'm Tommy.
I'm Emile.
And as always, it's good to be back, but this time finally.
It seems like it's been like an extra long time. We are shooting like a week later than we normally do, but it seems like it's just been a really long time since we did the last one.
Yeah.
Should I put my mic up the right way?
Yeah, it's pointing over your right shoulder, and there's nobody back there.
That's just in case anybody sneaks up on me.
Okay.
There we go.
Tommy, what are you doing tonight?
Well, I found, well, actually, I didn't find it, but there's a little feature on my ID51 handy talkie that's really handy, and a lot of people aren't aware of it, so I was going to show how to do that to load your memory channels.
You'd never suspect, would you? A handy feature on a handy talkie.
It is handy, and that's why they call it that.
Yeah. I couldn't pass it up. I mean, you just kind of like laid it right out there. So.
I know. I just set them up, and you slam them on, man.
Yeah.
I think that deserves a fist pump.
Yeah. There you go. I'm glad you did that, Emile. Yeah. Duck.
Y'all got to put your hands up, and then I'll do it. It'll be like a There you go.
There you go. Wow. We got to practice on that a little bit, I think. Tonight, last month, we had Jim here with us.
We did. It's good to see him.
Good to see him. And he's actually worked on that project that he told us he was going to work on. Yeah. But we won't talk about that right now. Last month, I played with some filtering, and we talked all about audio distortion. And
the reason we're not going to talk about it is hopefully he's going to come back and show it.
I hope, yeah, that's why I'm not.
It's pretty cool.
I hope he does, yeah. I had a square wave coming out of Arduino, which is what you'd normally get with a tone function, but I wanted something a little more like a sine wave, so we did some filtering last month and showed you how to do that. This month I actually used that tone for something, and I think it's cool. It's a little.
I haven't seen your project, but it's really interesting sound. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it actually involves radio too, so that's a plus anytime. Yeah.
Wait, hold on, George. Did you do it? Was this your project? You did it?
Maybe.
Well, then it's going to be cool.
Okay. Yeah,
hold on. It depends on why you're asking.
Yeah. I got an email here that comes from Eric Clark, W4EMT. There's Eric right there. That's a nice radio he's got there.
It is.
Nice familiar.
Microphone too. Well,
yeah, his station's really clean too. I hate to show mine.
Yeah. Eric is the husband of Sarah Clark, K4EMT.
Oh, awesome.
Who was our grand prize winner last month.
Cool.
Awesome.
She won the IC7300 you see sitting there, and that Howell microphone, and a lot of other goodies there. I don't see the gold PL259s.
Hopefully it's not on the end of a piece of coax somewhere.
Yeah, maybe they've got them in the safe or something.
Probably.
Anyway, Eric just sent a little note here, and he wanted to let us know that the radio had been installed and both of them have made a lot of contacts on it. He always knew it was a sweet rig, and he was right. Sarah insisted that she make the first contact on it, and she did. She talked with a friend of hers in Oklahoma, John W5GFI, and got a nice signal report. And since then, he says he's made some really nice stateside NDX contacts with the rig, including the VP6D DXpedition to Ducey Island twice, once on 15-meter sideband and another time on 20-meter CW. And he's been on 30 and 40 meters with it on FT8 quite a bit over the past weekend, and it's really worked well. Thanks again for the opportunity to win that prize package. Well, thank you, Eric. Congratulations, Sarah. We know you're going to enjoy it. And he asked if I wanted to try to schedule a QSO with him, and I did last weekend.
Oh, cool.
We talked Sunday, and the radio really sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The microphone, you could tell it was a Heil microphone.
Yeah.
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 Really, really good, smooth sounding audio.
I'm glad to see they're enjoying it.
Oh yeah. How could you not? So, well, congratulations again, Sarah, and apparently Eric too, because I think he's gonna
enjoy it just as much as she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get on the air with it. I mean,
you can't blame him.
You can't blame him.
No, I know I would be.
Well, Emile, what do you have here to talk about tonight?
Well, you know, George, I had a chance over here to assist in the American Diabetes Association's TourDeCure. There was about 14 hams who got together and helped them out in running this event, keeping track of people and things. My wife just so happened to be in. She was doing the bike race and ride. There was 3 different distances, and she rode the 30-mile ride along the levees here. So I packed up my station, and I went on down to the Audubon Zoo, and to my surprise, they all asked for you. And they all asked for you, Tommy.
That's an inside joke there.
They even inquired about you. The monkeys asked, the tigers asked, the elephants asked.
Yeah.
Look, for anybody who's native to New Orleans, you're gonna know the reference there. That's a song that's very classic here in New Orleans. So I'm sure y'all have heard that one, have you?
I had not until you sent me the link. I had no idea what you were talking about. But,
well, I guess you're gonna have to send me the link too.
It's by the Meters. What's the name of it?
Yeah, the Meters. They all ask for you.
Okay. All right. Well,
it's a classic.
Well,
So
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
anyway, I just wanted to share some of the sights that I got to see while I manned up the north side of the Audubon Park there with my station on that team, and that's what my segment is here. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning.
So why are we here in the dark at 5 in the morning at Audubon Park?
Because my husband signed me up for American Diabetes Tour.
It's cold, isn't it? Well, I hope you have a great ride. So, hey, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Why are we here at 5 in the morning in cold weather?
Because we're going to help the American Diabetes Association with their TourDeCure.
Most excellent. I hope they have a good ride.
I hope so, too. A safe one as well.
Copy that. Net control to all amateurs. Be advised of the starting time.
Morning.
How was the event, Emile? Success?
No, it was awesome. They did not have too many events or bad things happen, and they had lots of volunteers and people when they did. So it was a good stuff. Perfect, absolutely perfect weather. I mean, it was in maybe the 50s or 60s. It was absolutely a gorgeous day. So even though the riders had no problems and got in and out. In fact, they zoomed past me. I was in the north side of that Auburn Park, and they just flew past us. And it was a good day.
So you signed what was her name? Julie, your wife's name?
Yeah.
So you signed Julie up?
Well, that was the plan as the tail end of a vacation we had going. We went to the concert. We stayed in the city for a while and did all sorts of things, and that was the end of it. So it wasn't me.
Okay, because I was going to say, if I signed my wife up for that, she wouldn't have been quite so happy about it.
She does it. She rides all the time, in other races and around here, so she's used to that.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah. Looked like a fun time.
Yeah. Remember when we had that spell we used to go riding bikes?
Yeah. We got over it.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
You got a real bike.
Yeah, I got a motorcycle now, but we did have regular bikes that you have to work your legs off just to give you behind a ride.
Yeah.
So, but I figured that there wasn't much future in that.
And vice versa. Well, Tommy, I think you're next on the list there for emails tonight.
I'm on the list.
Oh, what in the world could be on your mind?
3 guesses.
TriStar.
I got an email from Rude, PA3RW. He says, "Hi, Tommy. I know you're a D-Star fan, and you did already made a review about the DV Mega by Gus Van Doren, PE1 PLM. Yeah, you still use my DV Mega all the time. At the Lamps Tam Fest here in the Netherlands, I spoke with Gus, and he tipped me about a program called PyStar. PyStar.uk. Easy to use program to make a DV hotspot or repeater. Maybe it's an idea to review this software on your show." 73 Rude, PA3RW. And actually, it's a great idea, Rude. Even before I got this, I have the image. I downloaded it a few days ago, and it's sitting on my desktop. That should be coming up here pretty soon. My old hotspot that I've been using, the software is getting kind of dated on it. Anyway, the DMR stuff doesn't work anymore. The Brandmaster stuff isn't there. So
it doesn't work on mine either anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, time for redo the hotspot. So that's what I'm going to go with. Should be coming up here pretty soon. I'm looking forward to redoing my hotspot for my DV Mega.
I'm looking forward to you redoing it too.
So you can get a copy of it.
I'll swap a copy of the image. Okay. Well, with that, we're going to come back and see what you've got for a segment this month. Oh, and one other thing to keep in mind is we've got another one of those world-class AmateurLogic taste test challenges going tonight.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Who sent us something this time?
Nigel over in the UK, in England.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at that in a minute.
For the love of the holidays, surprise your favorite ham this season with the gift that's on their hot list. The holidays are just around the corner, and ICOM has plenty of cheer for everyone. IC7610, the SDR every ham wants, and just in time for the holidays. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The ICOM IC7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of a SDR. RF direct sampling system, 110 RMDR, independent dual receivers, and dual digicell. IC7300, changing the way entry-level HF is designed. This high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design will far exceed your expectations. RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and SD memory card slot. ICR30, raise the bar on DC to daylight receivers. Powerful yet easy to use, the ICR30 is packed full of features you've come to expect from ICOM. Built-in GPS and Bluetooth, dual bandwidth recording, high-speed scan, and there's an Android and iOS app available. The perfect stocking stuffer, the ID51A Plus 2 provides new modes for extended D-Star coverage. Enjoy integrated GPS, independent AM/FM receiver, and free Android apps. Terminal and access point mode, send and receive text messages and pictures. DV fast data mode, and easy FM repeater setting. Visit ICOMAmerica/amateur for more information on all the great ICOM radios.
Some great ideas for stocking stuffers there. Tommy, you can just pick up one of the IC7300s for my stocking.
Okay. And I'll take a 7610 while you're out shopping.
It didn't work out like I was expecting.
I'm sure I'm surprised you wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah. Well, I see you're hard at work on something over there.
When I was in Dayton this year, I went to the D-Star forum, like I usually do, and they were taking feedback from people. The one thing that I heard that really stuck out with me was that people were having trouble programming their radio to get on D-Star. So there's a function in some of the newer radios, the DR mode, ICOM radios in particular, that import and export CSV files. Now, I did a segment on episode 56 of AmateurLogic.TV where we used the free CS51 software to program my original ID51. Well, that's still great software and it's still free. You get a copy with your radio when you get it. There's a nice way to program the repeater functions in here, or the repeater list. Let's take a look at that. It did not exist in this older radio. So let's go ahead and set this one to the side and let's focus on the newer one at the moment. So if we go into the menu here by hitting the top menu button, we scroll down to where it says SD card, hit the blue button in the center of the rocker switch, we see import and export. That's where the magic happens right there. Let's shut down the radio. Let's pull out our SD card. You're going to need an SD card, by the way. If you don't have one in your radio, you should put one in. They're really cheap and it takes a micro SD. When you take it out, be sure to pay attention to the orientation of it. The contacts go to the front of the radio towards the screen, the same direction the screen's facing. So I'm going to pop this card in my card reader. And it's going to pop up on my screen. There are a lot of resources on the internet nowadays for D-Star and for everything really. But there's one site in particular that we're going to focus on today, and that's dstarinfo.com. It's a great site. You can download memory channels, repeater lists, so forth from that site, and it's already formatted for most of your software for your radio here. Let's take a look. So we'll go to www.dstarinfo.com. There's a lot of stuff on here. Information about nets, the reflector list, repeater maps, where it shows you where they are, D-Star calculator, a lot of stuff. So if you haven't been here, I encourage you to go look around. For this exercise, we're going to go to downloads. And we want repeater list downloads for DR mode radios. So let's go in there and we'll pick our location. I'm going to go ahead and put my location in. You can see I've done this before. It's a great site, so I come here fairly frequently. Let's look up location, and it found my location here. I'll pick my radio. This is the newer ID51A plus 2. Gives you a summary that this radio has 500 standard memory, 750 spots for the repeater list rather. Your call list can be up to 200 entries, and the name display on the front is up to 16 characters. So I'm going to go ahead and just download it. And it pulled it down. Let's view it in the folder. And there it is. So let's open it up and take a look at it. I'll open with Excel because it seems to format a little bit nicer to read. But if you remember, I put in for the zip code for Madison, Mississippi, and it pulls down a lot of repeaters, D-Star repeaters. You can tell they're D-Star because this mode is DV, digital voice. But if we scroll way down, you'll get to the FMs. And once you get to the FMs, it's going to be for your local area. So it starts in Arkansas, Louisiana, the vicinity around here, Alabama, Mississippi. You can see that we got a lot of repeaters in Mississippi. And these are all FM, just standard repeaters. They've got coordinates over here so the GPS can determine which one is closest to you. When you go to the near repeater function, gives you the closest one that you have the likeliest chance of getting into. So let's go ahead and let's close Excel, and I'll rename this one to home, because this is my home area, and we'll cut this out of here. I've already got another Explorer window open, so we'll go into ID51. When I plugged my card in, this opened up for me. Go into CSV, repeater list, and that's where these CSV files are going to live. So let's paste it in there. Again, these are called CSV files because they're comma separated values. You can see group number is 4 rather. Group is Canada, name is Winnipeg, and so forth. And each one has a comma. That's where the C comes from, comma separated values. These are just plain text files. So while I'm in here, I work in Dallas, so I'm going to go to Dallas, Texas. Look up the location, and it found it. I'll download again. And let's view this in the folder. And we'll rename this one to Dallas. And I'll cut that one, paste it over here on my SD card with the other one. Well, it just so happens that I have a trip to Las Vegas coming up. This actually Sunday I leave to fly out there for work. So I'll do Las Vegas, Nevada. Look up, found it. Still got the same radio selected, and let's download this one. Let's view it in the folder. I'll call this one Las Vegas. That way when I get out there, I have the repeater list for the area with me. Let's cut it. And we'll paste it over here again. That's good enough for right now. You can see these are very small files. They're only in the 80K kilobyte range. So we ejected the card. Now it's time to put it back in our radio. So again, pay attention to the orientation of the card. Remember, it came out with the contacts towards the front. So let's put it back in. Push it until it locks in. Okay, the card's in. Let's power up. Okay, power's up. So let's go into menu, SD card, import and export. Today we want to import the repeater list. Remember, we put the files in the repeater list folder. Now I've got a Dallas, home area, and Las Vegas. Because I'm home, I'm going to go ahead and load this one. Do you want to keep the skip settings in the repeater list? And I'm just going to say no. I don't have any in here anyway. Import the file? Yes. It'll take it about less than a minute to import and do its thing. probably about 20 seconds or so. Okay, it finished. Reboot the CS51. So let's turn it off. Turn it back on. And we're in. So let's go into DR mode and take a look at what we just did. To go into DR mode, let's hold down the DR switch. It's on the bottom button of the rocker switch right here where it says DR. Put your finger on it, hold it down until it changes the mode. And it came up with the first one on the list, which was Winnipeg. So let's go to From, hit the center button. Let's go to repeater list. Oh, actually, let's go back. Let's go to near repeater and let's use the GPS. So one of the beauties of this radio is it's got a GPS built in. And that repeater list had coordinates for most of the repeaters in there. So let's go to repeater list. We can do near repeater all. We can do DV, which is only D-star repeaters. Or we can do only FM repeaters. I was going to show you on all this time. Okay, it's searching based off my location. And it pulled up a list of them. I'm in Madison, Mississippi. Sorry about the flashing there on the light. I'm in Madison, Mississippi, and you can see there's an FM repeater. There's an FM in Ridgeland. There's a D-star repeater in Brandon because it doesn't have FM beside it. There's another. Here's another repeater in Clinton. We've got some FMs in Jackson. The call sign and how far they are from you is right here. So let's just pick this one, and it loads it up. It gives you the location, the frequency, and the call sign right there on the screen, and you're ready to go. So we can talk on the FM repeaters just that easy. You can also, with your cursor on the From line, you can turn the wheel and scroll through all of the repeaters in the list right there based off of your location. So let's go back in near repeater. If we only want to see the D stars, we can pick DV mode and pick that. And you can see we've got the 4 D-star repeaters in the area right here with there's no FM beside them. And likewise, you can do the same thing for FM repeaters. So that is super simple. That's almost a tongue twister. It's very simple. It's not really much reason not to program your radio or be able to get on the air. Now that said, that doesn't do your regular memory channels. It doesn't do your call and so forth. So you can program the regular memories using the CS51 free software or whatever software for your radio. Go to episode 56 of AmateurLogic.TV to see how to use the CS51 software. We may do the your call sign stuff next, and I'll show you how to connect to repeaters and reflectors and so forth using that and the DR mode repeater list that we just put in here. So remember, DR mode's your friend. Play around with it. Go to the dstarinfo.com site. Play around. There's memory channel downloads in here, which you'll have to use the software to load those. But it's a great resource for D-Star information. Thus the name of the site. And anyway, check it out. You'll find it's pretty interesting. And get your radio programmed and get on the air.
Almost like shooting fish in a barrel when you travel.
Yeah, it's easy. I see somebody on the chat room said that they don't have any D-Star repeaters there. They have Fusion, but I'm sure they have FM. The same exact thing works with FM repeaters. And that's actually the beauty of it. Now, when you got one of the newer repeaters that have the FM mode on the repeater list, which I think is the ones after the original one, it works for everything pretty much. D-Star or FM.
That's pretty slick. We were talking about it while it was playing there. Is the distance to repeaters correct? And you say, probably
I
so.
I don't know if they're exactly right. I think I scanned down through the Jackson ones, and we used to, when you looked at the old repeater maps and stuff, when it said Jackson, they all looked like they were right dead in the middle of the city. But these all had slightly different coordinates. So I'm assuming, I think when they coordinate those, they're probably required to enter some of that stuff nowadays. anyway, I'm assuming they're probably pretty close.
Well, that really makes programming those rigs a whole lot easier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. You would still want to do your
Super
memory tongue twister.
Super simple.
Super simple.
And that's not, I mean, of course, that was with ID 51 that you did that. But, I mean,
Well, your 4100 will do the same
will do
thing. My
that.
5100's got the same thing. So most of the newer Icon rigs have that. I think the Kenwood. We've only had that one here we played with for a little while, but I did see that file supported, or that site supported the Kenwood radio too.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it may work the same with there. I don't know enough about
we
the
don't have
radio
one.
to know for sure, but I would assume it probably does.
cool. Well, let's see where we are. I've got an email here that comes from Chuck Gertula, I believe. I may be mispronouncing that, Chuck. Sorry. KF7WZV. And he says, George, first of all, thanks for your input on Amateur Logic and Ham Nation. He's been given a number of links of coax of various sizes and lengths. And he has an MFJ 226 antenna analyzer. Guess what? I do too.
Yep.
Nice little analyzer here. And he said he's been told that he could determine if a cable was good or bad by using the antenna analyzer on it. But he's had trouble finding some information on exactly how you would do that. And he asked, would it be just taking a 50 ohm dummy load, put on one end of the cable and hooking the other end to the analyzer? With this analyzer, I believe that's how you would do it. Some do it a little bit differently. I tried to do a little research on this one and didn't come up with another way of doing it. Of course, that's going to tell you if you just go to the frequency you're interested in, do a good sweep of it there with a good known dummy load on the end. That's a good way to test it. One other thing that you could do, and which I personally like to do when I'm checking out coaxes, and most people don't have access to one of these. This is a Megger, and we've shown that before. AmateurLogic 68, our July 2014 field day episode, we showed how to use a Megger to test out your coaxes. Now that's in addition to using something like an antenna analyzer. The analyzer is going to put it in the frequency domain for you and do checks there and, actually determine the impedance. The Megger is just going to send a brute force voltage down that cable and see if it breaks over, which, this one here will do 1,000 volts. So if you've got a connector that's not just right or a piece of cable that's maybe going bad, this is going to detect it pretty quick where you wouldn't see it with, something that's running low power like an antenna analyzer. However, all this is going to do is tell you, well, it's not breaking down. It won't tell you if the cable's open or, if it's anywhere near 50 ohms or any of that. So really, both of those are good if you want to do an absolute check. But I would say in most cases, analyzer with 50 ohm dummy load is probably what most folks use. And he had sent me this email back in April, and we're just now getting to reading it. And he said he hoped to use some of those coaxes at field day. So I suspect he knows if those cables were good or bad by now.
Oh yeah, he probably does.
Yep.
We had so much content there for a while, and we still got a fair amount, but we haven't been able to fit the emails in. So
but
trying to bring them back around.
Yeah, we do try to hang on to them. So when we can fit them in, we bring them back up. Email. I know you've got, and it's not a post this time. It's an actual email.
Email.
An email to email?
Got an email, yes.
There's another one.
Tongue twister night. Yeah, there's a local club here, and I got a friend in that club, Carl, KG5NXY, who said the key words. Speaking of super simple, on the keywords on your segment, Tommy, he said the key words for me to key off of this email, and those words were: he saw a need for cheap, efficient ways to create ad hoc mesh networks using these devices he found. He called it the Nixie mesh, and the use of that term Nixie, I think, is coming from his call sign NXY. But apparently he found some what he's calling Haltech ESP32 boards that are basically Wi-Fi connections, and he programmed them up and made them into a little mesh network. What he's going for here is something I know we covered a while back using, let's say, FRS and GMRS radios, where you basically set up a neighborhood network, if you will, in case of emergencies, so that you can talk in between neighbors and things like that. And this is where he's going with these devices. I haven't used them yet, and I'm anxious to get to the club to talk to him about what he's doing. But he's basically wanting to use them like, house-to-house communications or network systems or simple ad hoc IP networks, which I thought was pretty neat. So the devices look pretty cool, and he's programmed them up. He used to be a programmer. I'm going to have to follow up on that. But when I saw the email and I saw the words cheap and efficient, I thought I'd give it a look.
Yeah, even if it doesn't work, it looks really cool, doesn't it?
It looks very cool.
Yeah. I like it. What was the device?
It's he called it the Haltech HELTEK ESP32.
ESP32. Okay, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah,
Man.
it looks pretty cool.
That's really nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Well, we're going to come back in just a moment, and I'm going to show you the project that I've been working on.
Cool.
Isn't it about time someone developed an inexpensive multiband antenna you could deploy in just minutes? Well, someone has. Meet the Octopus. MFJ's new 4-band Octopus antenna is the perfect way to get you swimming in the HF Ocean immediately. The Octopus mounting base is constructed of heavy-duty stainless steel and super strong fiberglass-filled ABS insulator tube. The built-in ballon comes with an attached SO239 connector pigtail ready for you to attach coax. Choose a pair of ham sticks for each of your 4 favorite bands, screw them into the 8 chrome-plated 3H 24-threaded mounts, and you're able to get on the air in just minutes. The MFJ Octopus will mount on most any metal pole or telescopic mast up to 1 inch in diameter. Just tighten the thumb screw. You can rotate the antenna with a small TV rotor like the high-gain ARI 500, or just ground mount the antenna for omnidirectional use. With its 8 super lightweight arms, the MFJ Octopus is ready to reach out and grab the big DX on your favorite bands. At only 14 feet in diameter, it's great for emergency, stealth, portable, campground, or as a permanent base antenna. And the ham sticks break down to around 4 feet for easy, compact storage. If you're on the lookout for a compact, quickly deployable multiband HF antenna, keep an eye out for the new MFJ Octopus. MFJ, the world leaders in ham radio accessories at mfjenterprises.com.
It doesn't have the little cool blue display on it, but I did a little programming for my project. And, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. Y'all just watch it.
That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. No, just, check it out here. It involves 2 of my favorite things, radio and Arduinos. I like the Arduinos.
Oh, yeah.
Emile, I like them better than I like the Raspberry Pis.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I do.
You may remember last month I was working on a project that needed some tone shaping to it. The Arduino can only put out a square wave with the tone function, but
I wanted something a little more like a sine wave, something with a little lower distortion. Well, this month I'm going to show you what I was working on. I've built a similar project to this one years ago using discrete components, and let me say it took a lot longer, was a lot harder to do, and cost a lot more money. We're going to do this right here on the cheap. Real simple. We've got an Arduino Uno, which are very inexpensive. We can program this and do a lot of different things with it, and we've talked about them before. They've got digital input and output connectors on it, as well as some analog inputs. Down here on the experimenter board, I've got the filter that we built last month. It's got the 0.1 microfarad capacitors here and the 1K ohm resistors to shape that square wave down into sort of a sine wave. On the output of that filter, I've got another 0.1. That's going through a 33K ohm resistor. And this wire here runs back to the rig that I've got this connected to on the microphone input. Of course, that's being fed by pin 13 coming out of the Arduino. That's what's going to generate our tone signal. Over here, I've got two read relays. To drive those relays, I've got some 2N3904 transistors, one for each relay, and a few components that go with that, a resistor and a couple of diodes. And each one of those is connected to one of the digital I/O pins on the Arduino up here. So what I do is simply turn on the transistor with software, and that will key which either relay I want here. Now, the relay on the right, you can see I've got an LED connected out here across the coil of it so that we can see whenever this relay is on. The contacts are connected to another wire here going to the push-to-talk button on my microphone. So essentially, whenever this relay right here is made, it's going to cause my rig to transmit. If there's a signal coming through this filter over here, then that's what's going to be transmitted on the air. The relay on the left is just, well, I'm calling it a controlled relay. We're just going to turn it on and off at will from the software. And what I've got connected to it right now on the contacts is just a light bulb out here. And I'm going to connect 12 volts of power across the light bulb and the relay contact in series with it, so that whenever I turn on this relay, that light bulb is going to illuminate. A couple other things I've got here. Of course, we got a USB cable that's running over to my computer. In the end, we could pull that connector out right there and just power from 9 to 12 volts directly into the Arduino on the power jack here, and not have a computer in the project at all. Over here on the right-hand side, I've got a little module that I picked up at a Hamfest. Oh, I don't know, it was over a year ago. I think I got this at Huntsville Hamfest. It's a little Arduino module using an MT8870 DTMF decoder chip. I've got the input to that decoder connected to the speaker out of the rig. So essentially how this is going to work, I will take a handy talkie or another radio. I'll key in a DTMF code. The DTMF decoder will detect that and send that code out to the input-output pins here on the Arduino, where we will decode it. If we've got an asterisk key, a star key, well, that's going to be the command to turn off our controlled relay here. If we get a pound key in, coming from DTMF, what that's going to do is turn on this relay. So essentially, we're only looking at two commands, an asterisk or a pound. The rest of the commands are available to us there. We're just not using them in this project. Let's take a look at our schematic here. Right here in the center, we've got the Arduino Uno. That's going to be the heart of this project. Above that, we've got an MT8870 DTMF decoder board I've mentioned earlier. The audio coming from the rig goes right here into the input jack on it. And if we get a DTMF tone on there, there are 5 pins down here. The first one is STQ. That's telling us that there has been a valid DTMF signal decoded The other 4 pins here, these are data lines. Depending on which code is received, these data lines each will be set to either high or low. We'll look at these 4 inputs here with our code in the Arduino and decode which DTMF tone was actually received and act upon it. Up here on pin 13, this is more or less our circuit that we had last month. It's going to be a tone coming out of that digital I/O pin, and we've got our filtering here that we made last month. Also, we've added out here a 0.1 microfarad capacitor. This is just here to block DC so that there's no DC that could be coming from the Arduino that gets into our rig, and vice versa. And we've got a 33k ohm resistor right here. This is just used to drop the level of that tone a little bit before we send it on to the mic input of our transceiver. The reason we're doing that is we want to give an acknowledgement when we receive a tone and act upon it. We're using pins 0 and 1 of the digital I/O on the Arduino to feed these 2 relay driver circuits here. Down at the bottom, we've got what we're calling a controlled relay here. Coming from pin 0 of the Arduino, we go to a 10k ohm resistor. From there, we go on over to the base of a 2N3904 transistor. Now, this is an NPN transistor, and the way you can remember that is the arrow here on the transistor never points in. It's pointed out. The emitter of that transistor is hooked to ground. The collector is hooked up to one side of the coil of the relay here. The other side of that coil is hooked up to our plus 5 volt supply. Across that coil, we've got a snubber diode here that's hooked up backwards. It's only there to conduct when that relay releases. The inductance from it will send a spike back down the line, and this just snubs that out to keep it from damaging the rest of the circuitry. There's another diode down here at the base of the transistor that's there for the same purpose. So what's going on here is we get a high coming in from pin 0 of the Arduino. It's knocked down to a lower voltage because we don't need that full 5 volts. We do that with the 10k ohm resistor. It drives the base of the transistor right here. And as a matter of fact, the voltage is high enough that it sends that transistor into saturation. So it begins to conduct 100%, just like we turned on a switch. When that happens, we complete the circuit. We've got the positive voltage going in here to one side of the coil, and that can go on out and go all the way to ground for a complete circuit, and that energizes the relay. And then the contacts of the relay are going to be hooked up here to whatever we want to connect. In this case, I'm using the little light bulb. Up above that, we've got an identical circuit here. This one is being fed by pin 1 of the Arduino, and we're calling this our push-to-talk relay here. Same thing, whenever we send the voltage in here, that's going to close the relay and key up our rig, which will transmit. And then in the code, we're also going to tell it at that point to send our tone for confirmation and ID, whatever we'd like to do. I'm going to take a handy talkie now, and I'm going to enter in our commands and see what happens. The first command I'm going to punch in is a pound. And you'll notice that you heard my ID, W5, JDX, and CW, followed by 2 tones there, a low tone and a high tone. I'm using that to indicate that I turned on the relay, and you can see the light bulbs on there. Now, to turn off the relay, I'm going to use right the opposite. I'll use a high tone and then a low tone to indicate that we've turned the relay off. So now I'm going to push the star button, and let's see what happens. And you notice a little red LED there. That's just connected across the coil of the relay and comes on to indicate that the push-to-talk relay is energized. So there you have my DTMF relay project. Now, next month, I'm going to improve on this a little bit and show you a project that just blows this one out of the water. That was my little project.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Very cool.
You know, I got that decoder, I don't know, a year or two ago, and I always said I'm going to do something cool with this, and I almost did it right there.
Almost.
Almost. Wait till you see next month's.
Are you going to expand on it?
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, if you enjoyed this one, the next month's going to be pretty sweet, I think. I think anyway. You know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
I know what it is.
We'll just leave the rest of them hanging on.
They'll like it.
An email.
Oh, man. I don't know what it is.
It didn't cost anything extra. As a matter of fact, it was cheaper than the one you just saw.
Man, and you're like going for an award here.
Oh, he's not going to even sleep tonight now.
At least I probably shaved off 75 cents from the cost overall.
That's huge. That's like magnitude huge.
And and I amplified the cool factor by at least 100, I think. But
100 points or 100 times?
100 times, man.
Oh, wow.
I like it. It's something I didn't know you could do with an Arduino, and I tied it in with this project. Well, I'll just leave it at that for now. Well, Tommy, you have another email there.
I do have,
I believe.
I have two more emails actually, but I'll only read one of them right now. Okay, I've got one from Jerry, WA0H. Says, hi Tommy, I saw your coverage of the Dayton Xenia Hamfest. Joan and I had a booth in Building 5 where we sell my easy-to-use logging program, MicroLog. After 55 years of writing computer programs, I took a break and wrote an easy-to-follow math book. Calm down, it's only math. Learn math without having to learn math. That sounds like a pretty good trick right there.
Yeah.
Math stands for Mental Abuse to Humans. That's a pretty cool acronym. I wrote it for hams who feel that knowing a little more math would be helpful. The book, $10 for paperback and $7.50 for the Kindle ebook, is available on Amazon. If you want to see excerpts from the book, go to the website, follow the download link. Anyway, Amazon will let you get some excerpts from it to check it out. But it looks like a pretty good book. And you're right, math, like our hobby's full of math, electronics.
If I could have had access to that book in high school, it might have changed my life, man.
You could learn math without having to learn math?
Apparently so. That is pretty neat. I have not looked at the book, so not sure what's all involved there.
Yeah, I took a glance at it.
Anything that makes math easier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Math is hard.
Yeah.
At school. Math is hard.
Well,
That's why we invented computers.
exactly. But then you got to know math to write programs, so
That's very true.
Yeah. Some of them, anyway.
You need the math for a lot of these electronic things.
You do.
Tons of it.
Well, I had an email from our friend Eric Ferguson, AC9BX. I don't remember how long ago. This is probably a couple of months ago. And he sent me a few photos of some neat nostalgic ads that he ran across.
Cool.
And I wanted to share them with everyone here tonight because, well, there's something most of us can relate to, especially this first one here.
Oh, wow.
I never had one of these, but it's the Remco electronic radio station. Send and receive voice and code up to half a mile. I think that's what it says. Isn't that a neat looking radio station?
It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I want one.
And towers built in.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think they were cheap, though, because I never got one
Your homeowners association won't say anything about those towers.
in the house.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that looks like something straight out of a 50s sci-fi movie.
It really does, but it does look pretty cool.
It does.
I'd like to see a picture of a real one.
I'd like to have one even now, I think.
Yeah.
I have another one here of, this is only a receiver. It's not a transmitter. It's an 8-tube super hit Silvertone console radio. Now, a friend of mine bought one of these back when we were teenagers. It didn't work, but he only wanted it for a speaker cabinet.
Oh, yeah?
And it was good for a speaker cabinet. $39.95, exactly one half price from Sears Roebuck and Company. It's complete. There's nothing else to buy, and I believe it came with installation included. State-of-the-art new 1932 features. It's an 8-tube super heterodyne, multi-move tubes, and intermittent and radio frequency, screen grid, power detector, image frequency suppressor. Or you could even use one of those right now. Micro sensitivity compensator, and we don't even know what that is.
Nope, but it must have been good.
They had one in 32 at Sears. Tone control, a 10-inch super dynamic speaker, push-pull pin-toed outputs, and never at a price like $39.95 has brought so much radio before.
You know, selling that much radio that cheap is surprising Sears is still around.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did I go there?
I think so. You need to hit print screen and print this out. There's a little coupon in the bottom right-hand corner there. If you fill that out and send it to Sears Roebuck and Company in Philadelphia, I think they will hook you up. They'll install
It
it.
may get bounced back.
Well, it could. Anyway, that's a neat-looking old console, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
You know, when I was a teenager, we used to see these around at antique shops and pawn shops and different things, but you don't see them as much anymore.
Yeah.
And when you do, there's a big price on them.
I remember when we were at home one day and my mom had this big Zenith console thing delivered. It had a TV in the middle, turntable, and the radio on the top, and the two speakers on the side. That was pretty awesome
George,
for its day.
What do you think $40 was in 1932? Today's money.
It's like $500,000. I don't know. I don't really know, but that was half
was a
price.
lot.
That it had to have been a good deal. It's half price, so
Yeah. How could you pass it
go.
up?
yep.
Think of
More.
everything you could do with the other $39.95 after you bought that for half price.
Well, I mean, if you already had a sensitivity compensator and image frequency suppressor, you don't need to spend that extra $40.
You were half the way there.
Yeah. One more photo here, and this one, I remember this well because it's from 1976. This is the year I went to work at a Radio Shack dealer store. This was a 1976 Radio Shack catalog right here.
We had that same radio and those same speakers.
Really?
Yeah,
The Arthur Fiddler system.
I guess so. But it's the exact same one.
Yeah.
Those are real wood cabinets too.
Unless you peeled it off. That was $500, man, and that was not really their top of the line system. It's okay, but that was the cheaper cassette deck and headphones. But yeah, you get everything for $500, and they even threw in 2 chromium dioxide tapes as well, CRO2s.
Cool.
You got a pair of those.
Yeah, remember that. Did you get the composer in the bottom right too?
I don't think it come with that or the chick.
Okay.
But you would get a free flashlight that you could buy D-cells to go in, or bring in the card.
6 D cells.
Yep, once a month.
Take you 6 months just to get enough batteries when you went in for one. By the time you got the 6th one, your first one had already died.
Yep, pretty much. You're going to need that card. So anyway, thanks for those, Eric. It's always a lot of fun looking at
those were fun.
looking at that stuff. He actually sent me more, but that's really all that we had time for tonight.
You gotta love the old Radio Shack ad things, man. Like the others were awesome too, but like I don't know, at least I do because those were my time.
Yeah, mine too. That's the year I finished college.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, yep.
I was 6.
Wow. You probably weren't in college yet.
That was
No.
76.
Yep.
Yeah, I had 4 years of high school left.
Wow. I'm an old guy.
You are.
But it was a bicentennial year. And yes, Mike, we were able to wear leisure suits back in that time period. Anyway.
I just want to go on the record right now saying I never wore a leisure suit.
I had a green one. Man, if I had that thing today and put it on right here, I'd just
I wouldn't.
disappear.
I'm not sure I'd even sit in there with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I would, because I'd be taking pictures and I'd be posting it everywhere.
Well, speaking of college,
At the end of each month, it's AmateurLogic's Ham College, the new show for those new to the hobby and those wanting to get into amateur radio.
Which of the following is a purpose of the amateur radio service as stated in the FCC rules and regulations?
that inductor and capacitor form a tuned circuit. That's how you tune the radio to the frequency that you want. The English language.
We lived in town. I liked it. I listened to mine a lot. It was really cool because you didn't have to have a battery to power it.
There's our homemade telegraph station. We can use it for long distance communications. Oh, like, 3 feet here?
Across the table. The answer is B. Voltage was named after Italian physicist Alessandro Volta.
We can see we're generating a little bit of electricity there. It's DC.
It's always great to go back and get a refresher.
It sure is.
A lot of that stuff, if you've been a ham for a while like we have, you don't really think about a lot of that stuff that often.
They didn't have electric screwdrivers in those days, so that's why we're not using one.
That's why we went primitive with it.
Yeah. So let's see if we can hear anything when we fire off our spark gap transmitter.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we didn't build anything or blow up anything today, but
The night's still young. It's always time
always time
to burn up or blow something
yeah,
up.
Pretty much.
You never get
Then we
too
have that
much.
smoke test, right? Or the replacement smoke.
Yep.
Yeah, you got any more of that?
No,
We're out.
completely out. Well, Emile, did you have one more thing tonight you wanted to bring to our attention?
I do. It's a post in the AmateurLogic.TV Facebook from our buddy who's in the chat room, KG5CEN Glenn. He brought to everybody's attention early November that the guys over at the Ham Shack hotline phone service moved their systems to the cloud, and that people might have to re-provision their phone. I got mine up and running and kicking again, and it wasn't that wasn't that hard to do. Same thing as when I first provisioned it. Had to copy the URL back into the phone, but they did move their services to become more available and reliable. So check it out if you got the Ham Shack hotline numbers.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I had to redo mine as well.
Thanks for that info, Glenn. That's good to know. So we're going to have, well, go ahead. You tell us what we got.
Okay, well, let me read the email first.
Okay.
Okay, this is from Nigel. He's actually in the chat room. I think he's still in there.
G0MEJ.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah. Anyway, it says, "Hello, Tommy. I sent you a jar of Cumberland rum butter, which is made local in my county of Cumbria. I'd like to do a challenge on AmateurLogic.TV to try it along with George. This is a traditional fare for Christmas time. You try to just spread it on your sliced bread or warm mince pies." I'm not sure what mince pie is. "But I've enclosed information about the old Cumberland County is now called Cumbria after 1974, with the most beautiful heart of northern England. The English Lake District now has World Heritage status." There's a little bit of a dialect thing, so it's kind of... Anyway, I've been radio amateur since 1985, held the call sign G1MEJ. It was a Class B license, but no Morse code test was needed, but no HF privileges. You had to pass a 12 word per minute Morse code test for the Class A license. After a couple of years, I went to a radio rally or a ham fest in North Yorkshire in the town of Harrogate. I probably just butchered that up. One of the stands there was the Darley Amateur Radio Society, who did FCC amateur radio tests with VEs. So he took the novice test and the technician and passed, but he didn't get the license out. But he went back a couple of weeks later and he took his general and passed. Had to travel back to the U.S. military base outside the town of Harrogate in North Yorkshire at that time. Anyway, he was granted his FCC license. Then he applied for a reciprocal UK full Class A license. Anyway, his current call is G0MEJ, and his US call is KG0PL. I've been an AmateurLogic.TV viewer. Watched all the episodes from number 1 to the present. That's quite a feat. And he lived to tell about it.
Yeah, and we've got the documented proof right there.
Right there in black and white. May I say to all the Amateur Logic team, Happy Thanksgiving and Happy Christmas and Happy New Year to your families as well. Kind regards, Laird Nigel P. Lawrence, G0MEJ and KG0PL, and Lady Julia Lawrence, 2E0JBP, his XYL.
Wow.
Cool. And he did send the Cumberland Rum Butter.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question there.
Okay.
Laird Nigel P. Lawrence. So is Laird his first name, or?
I do not know.
It's not. That's not actually a name.
It's a title?
Yep, that's a title.
Oh, cool.
And I'm not sure exactly. I think it's something like a landowner or something. I'm not sure. I'm probably off on that. But that's what my wife told me anyway when she told me Laird wasn't a first name. You know, we don't have titles here in Mississippi. It's, you know,
Mr.
or Bubba, or no, that's Alabama where they got the Bubbas. But so you've got us some
Cumberland Rum Butter. So let's unwrap it here, and it's still. I just kind of got it out, got some of the paper off, but it's in a jar.
Well, it doesn't look like Vegemite.
No? Well, let's hope it doesn't taste like Vegemite. And I brought something to put it on. Belgian waffle butter crisps. So, Nigel, I hope that's good to put it on.
Then you put British rum butter on a Belgian waffle.
Yeah, it's international.
Oh, okay. You were going to get some scones.
Yeah, but
we couldn't get any scones.
Well, actually, Sabrina was going to the store, and I asked her to pick something up to put it on, and she was going to get that, but she couldn't find them. So she brought this back. I would think that should be good. Anyway, I wasn't really quite sure what Cumberland Rum Butter is, but Nigel put a document in here with it, so I'm going to go ahead and read that if you want to right before we open it up and try it. Anyway, it says Cumberland Rum Butter. This authentic rum butter recipe, known as hard sauce. It might be real rum.
Did y'all open this before the show?
I've got to drive home.
Because this might explain some things.
Anyway, it's traditional in Cumberland, in the northwest of England, the Lake District. It's very simple to make, but the exact origins of rum butter are shrouded in a bit of mystery. No one knows for sure who invented it, while a lot of myths have grown up around it. It does seem to have appeared first in Cumbria in the late 18th century or the late 1700s. By the time Queen Victoria came to the throne in 1837, rum butter had become integral to every christening feast, where a bowl of rum butter was passed around the assembled gathering with oat cakes and also given as a gift to mother and child. One of the most persistent myths surrounding rum butter tells the tale of a woman who took a broken cask of rum washed up on the Cumbrian coast from a smuggling shipwreck, who found that it had dripped into her store of sugar and butter on her larder shelf. Anyway, thus the happy accident created Cumberland Rum Butter. Most likely this is romantic nonsense, but nevertheless illustrates how simple the dish is to make. So that's interesting.
All right,
and actually,
check the date. Make sure it's not from 1700.
There's no date.
So
Oh,
Established 1354.
wait.
Isn't that?
I'm sure it wasn't made in 1354.
No, I'm just messing
No.
around.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm thinking.
I brought the official Cumberland Rum Butter paper plate
Look out.
and
Plastic
spork.
You want me to open it?
Go ahead.
You know it's the right proof if it melts the fork.
Am I going to be able to drive home?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It doesn't smell like Vegemite or Marmite.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah. So I think we're ahead of the curve.
He did email me and ask about sending something, and he asked about the Marmite, which we had done that, so I'm sure he forgot about that. But then he also asked about one of the things is jellied eels.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if I could do that one.
yeah.
So.
I think I like rum butter a lot better than jellied eels, and I haven't even tried it yet.
Yeah, I saw an Anthony Bourdain thing on TV one time about the jellied eels. Supposedly it's a delicacy, but I'm just not sure I'm man enough to try that.
I know I'm not.
And what was it? Something about oat cookies or oat crackers or something?
Oat cakes?
Nigel, I hope
Oat
these are
cakes.
okay to put on it, because that's what we ended up getting. So
Yeah,
here,
there's.
okay, you go first.
He sent it to you.
No, well, then I'll go first then.
I know the look of it is sort of like that green pea baby food.
It smells good.
Yeah, it does smell good.
It actually smells like butterscotch, which is kind of what I thought it might be like. This ought to be good.
I thought it might be like the butter rum candy, but we'll know here in just a moment.
Well, that's kind of what it smells like to me. Here, you want you can
Yeah,
either
let
do
me,
that one or you get your whatever.
I think I'm gonna want a whole one,
Go ahead.
and just by the way it
Well, that's
smells
two.
here.
I brought the extra plate.
So did I hear it right? Pirates raided somewhere and then the rum mixed with the butter?
No, that's a folklore thing.
Oh.
That they found.
Now,
They found some rum washed up on the shore.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if it's like Vegemite, you're only supposed to put a little tiny daub on there. We're in big trouble.
We're in big trouble. Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't smell anything like Vegemite. It actually
No.
smells pretty good.
Yeah, and he did say Laird is a title for Scottish landowner.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It smells really good. Is it good?
Mm-hmm. For once,
Oh, wow.
somebody sent us something, and it tastes kind of like what I thought it would taste like. It's really good.
We can it's
fix that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I might finish eating the rest of these. I hadn't had
wow.
any supper yet.
Yeah. You got any straws? That's good.
So, Nigel, that is amazing. Thank you for sending that.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have known about that when I went over there, I'd have brought some more of that back. I've been trying to figure. I'm gonna butter up the other one here. I've been trying to figure out how to get back over there. My son and I went over there on vacation
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years ago, and it was so much fun. It's probably the most fun vacation I think I've ever been on, and I want to go back.
Man, that is good. I mean, the flavor of it itself,
Emile, wish I could pass you one,
Yeah.
man.
the flavor is very good, but then it's got kind of a buttery.
Because it's rum butter.
Like
It's all in the name.
4.71%. I can't pronounce it, but some kind of rum.
Cool.
You know,
Are you supposed to refrigerate this, Nigel? Demerara
yeah.
rum. Wow, that is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it is excellent.
It makes a great dessert topping too.
It really does.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nigel, thanks for that. That is, that's nice.
And thanks for not sending the jellied eels.
Yes. I think we enjoyed this a lot more.
Yeah. They say it's good, but I just don't. Well, I'll just leave that out. We may want to eat some more of that at the end.
And by any chance, George, is your next Arduino phase have anything to do with transportation over IP?
No, there's nope. It's
Oh,
you know, I'm not. It's rum. I'm not sure we could transport across state lines without some tax issues.
that's right.
I think we're going to have to
The
keep it
ATF
here.
orders.
The G-Man had come after us.
Uh-oh. Mike says he sees another half-speed theater episode coming.
Those are always fun.
Could be. Well, that was really tasty.
Yeah, it's
As a matter of
really
fact,
super
why
good.
don't you stall for a minute while I
Okay. Hey.
you stall him.
Hey, look over there.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting about the license. How he got the U.S. and the
Yeah.
British license.
Yep. You know, we've met a lot of people, both in person and online, and virtually and everything through the show here, and we appreciate everyone that watches. And you know, being a ham is just a great
Oh yeah,
activity to meet a lot of cool people.
yeah. All good. I mean, kind of common people like us. Same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, some of them travel.
Yeah.
Some hams do.
Some do. That's what I hear.
And
Get out.
yeah, and some of them would only be seen with the best wardrobe possible
As
like-
well, they should be. I
all
mean,
over the world.
only the best.
Yeah, like in Singapore. And this comes from our friend Gene Guy. I'm going to mispronounce this. How do you pronounce Rioux, Emile? I know you know.
Rioux?
Yeah.
Rio?
Rio, that's what I thought. Gene Guy Rio, JH1GRT, and he's got a Canadian license too, VA2TWT. Right there at the Singapore Botanical Gardens. It's the AmateurLogic hat.
Cool. That hat gets around.
You
Or
just,
they hats get around.
you know, some places the hat goes to, we have to be very secretive about.
Oh, look out.
Yeah. Right there at Interpol. But, you know,
Is
the
that
hat-
on a wanted poster up there?
I didn't see anything about a reward. But
Dead or
you know,
alive.
the hat can be spotted around the U.S. right here as well. Like, right here, Ralph, AB10P, Ralph Mills, our friend, sent us this one. The hat was spotted at Daddy O's.
It sure was.
Oh, wow. Look at that old Coke vending machine.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I remember trying to pull Cokes out of those things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, without paying for them?
No. Even if you paid for them, they're still hard to get out. But
Trying to see where Daddy O's is.
Daddy O's, it's where up there by Ralph.
In Maine?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, look at all the license plates. inside.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. But
Awesome.
not only right there, you know, we've got another friend that's out with the hat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know when it could pop up and you see the hat on a plane.
As many flights
on a
as I've
plane.
had, I've never seen the hat on a plane before.
Well, there you go. You have now. And this comes from, our friend and world traveler, John Baggett, K2BAG. He had a layover in Phoenix and spotted the hat right there on a plane.
Oh, I might have been in there. I was laid over there last week
Could have been.
for a long time.
And then he left there. I think he was on his way to Vegas. And right there, the hat popped up at Fry's. You know, the hat can't pass by Fry's.
I had just left right over there.
Yep. As a matter of fact, I have been to that Fry's right there a number of times.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of
I'm
my...
pretty sure the hat will just like pull you right in as you drive past it.
That's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm surprised that place isn't just packed with that hat sitting out front like that.
Thanks, y'all, for the hat photos. It's you never know all over the world where the hat might pop up. So if you wanted to take the hat on a trip with you, where would you find one?
Well, if you needed a hat, if you don't already have one, you can get one right here at AmateurLogic.Spreadshirt.com.
Yeah, I guess you could. And as long as you're there, you could get the T-shirt.
You may as well get the matching T-shirt and jacket
Yeah.
too while you're there.
And, you know, usually when we're out at Hamfest and such, we see the T-shirts a lot more than the hats. But for those who travel, the hats just seem to be a good companion.
Yep.
They travel well. And that's about all I can say about that.
And yeah, and they're TSA approved, apparently.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
So,
So go to AmateurLogic.Spreadshirt.com and get yours today.
I think we have wasted enough of everybody's time tonight. And they're still there. So,
They are still there.
yeah. But
Most of them.
another fun show. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. And Rum Butter is good, unlike Vegemite.
Yeah, that's very good. I appreciate that, Nigel. Again, thank you.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, Emile, any last thoughts for this month?
Well, you guys might have seen on some of the Facebook posts that I've been working on some of my some whisper propagation studies. I've made it all the way from 160 to 30 meters. About to switch over to 20 tomorrow, and that's been fun. So I hope to be able to share that with everybody when I'm done.
Cool.
Awesome.
Tommy?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna be up to. What's going on? Anyway, I've got the Pi Star stuff I'm gonna be playing around with. And
Really?
I know it's a shock. It's a shock.
It could happen. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. They just got way more plugs tonight out of us.
They
than-
do. And you know what? I've never actually even really used it.
No, me
yet.
neither.
But now I'm committed. I got to.
The first time I ever saw it, I badly mispronounced the name.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to repeat it?
No.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I can see where that could go wrong.
Yeah.
No more rum butter for you.
Rum
Yeah,
Butter's
I'm
good.
telling y'all had to open that before this show started.
We should have. Because maybe we shouldn't have. It's good though.
Yeah.
For me, well, I don't know. I'm going to show you that project that I've been working on. Actually, the project I'm going to show you next month, I actually built before the one you saw this month.
So we're going
I
back
know.
in time.
I know that doesn't sound right, but I actually had to take apart the project I was working on and rebuild it to this one.
You already shot your segment?
No, I hadn't shot the segment, so I got to rebuild it again. But I know how to do it now because I wrote it down. But it's pretty cool. I think you'll enjoy it, and if you like playing with the Arduinos, you're gonna like this because you're probably going to see something there you want to use for yourself. All right, I guess that's going to do it. We got Thanksgiving coming up here in the U.S. next week.
Yep.
And we're looking.
I'm on vacation.
You are. And,
Somewhat.
And I'm going to be off Thanksgiving.
Just the day?
And the day after, I'm going to take off Black Friday too.
Oh, you working next week?
Yeah. Yep. I'm not taking any vacations. So.
Well, I was off today, but I did more work today than I do when I normally had a regular work day.
No, you should have just stayed at work.
I know. I just burned the whole day for nothing.
All right, 7-3 everyone. Thanks for joining us, and check out Ham College at the end of the month.
Yep.
And then I guess, it'll be the Christmas episode of Amateur Logic when we're back.
Oh, wow.
Well, we're going to have to get together something special for that.
I sure will. It snuck up on me this year. Not quite ready.
Yep. Me too.
When y'all were playing the intro, or I'm sorry, the video, before we started, I saw something about Mike V3MIC knowing how to use Photoshop or something.
Yeah.
Is that true?
He's used to the timer too.
Yeah, I have heard he has. Yep. All right. 7-3 everyone.
Yep. 7-3 everybody.
7-3.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to work.
Hit the button and we'll go on to the Magic Kingdom.
This is Ham College, episode 46 for October 31st, 2018.
I think Joyceland's throwing the flag. 15-yard penalty, false start.
Yeah, that was going to be real interesting because I probably wouldn't have noticed we were playing an intro for a completely different show.
What's wrong with my mic to me? Is it good?
That's all the good. I mean, it's on maximum goodness over here to me. There's nothing left.
I'm not sure that's the right choice of words.
Wait a minute, something's not right.
I take it y'all were playing with Pi Star?
How would you know?
There seemed to be a floating screen.
Oops. Yeah, I did talk to Mike. I think he said the guy that was running the servers decided to get out of it or something. Anyway,
Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.